Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and every week I take a close look at what's happening to the real estate market here in the Villages. We just survived a storm last week, and I don't know if some of these data points will be valid, but there certainly are some surprising data points this week, specifically the number of sales last week, which I guess is expected to be low. Couple of things to note. We produce this show every Monday. If you want to be informed about what the state of the real estate market is here, what the differences are between the different regions of the villages, what long term trends on prices are, trends on price per square foot, days on the market, things of that sort. If you want actual facts about what's happening here, then this is the show for you. As I said, we produce this every Monday. All of this information is drawn from the multiple listing service. We do not have access to the VLS, the Villages' own internal listing service. The Villages is a unique marketplace in that the Villages has their own listing service, the VLS, which is the only place where you'll find new homes for sale. But pre owned homes are available both on MLS and on VLS. And if you don't have a broker who can show you properties on both marketplaces, you will not be able to see everything for sale here. Similarly, when you sell your home, you're going to need to decide whether to list on VLS or on MLS. If you find this information valuable, please consider liking or subscribing to the channel. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And if you are a buyer trying to find a good deal here, please reach out to me at davidisinflorida@gmail.com or davidisinflorida.com. I'll be happy to help you. Or if you're a seller and you're trying to maximize your return at the highest reasonable asking price, we'll help you determine what that is. Once again, davidisinflorida.com or davidisinflorida@gmail.com. For those who don't know, the Villages is a 55 plus community. There are younger people here, but most residents are older than 60. But the advantage to the Villages is not the serene lifestyle, it is the activities. We have championship golf courses, executive golf courses, neighborhood pools sprinkled throughout the area, pickleball courts in every part of the Villages. If you need people to play with, or courts to play on, or courses to play on, you will find them here. We also have live music 365 days a year in the four town squares. Whether it's New Year's or Christmas, you will find the bands playing and people dancing. Similarly, if you're looking for other entertainment, drinking, eating, or generally carousing, you'll find that in the town squares. You'll also find shopping and other entertainment. It really is like living in a resort here. So, with that introduction out of the way, let's take a look at what's happening this week. We usually start every week by taking a look at either mortgage rates or the yield on the US 10-year note. Today we're looking at the yield on the US 10-year note, and surprisingly, as you look at this graph, the low that you see in mid-September was the day that the Fed lowered rates. And since they've lowered rates, interest rates on mortgages and interest rates on the 10-year bond are up about a 0.5% actually. It's hard to imagine this is not going to stifle buyer enthusiasm. So now let's dive into the Villages itself, and I'm going to start by orienting those of you who don't really know where the Villages is with this map, and we're going to zoom closer and closer. On this map, every property that is currently listed for sale is a dot. There are 5 different sizes of dots and 5 different colors of dots. The size of the dot represents the size of the home. Bigger the dot, bigger the home. And the color of the dot represents its price per square foot. The darker the circle, the lower per square foot, and the brighter, the higher per square foot. Looking at this map, you can see that I've zoomed in on the Lake Sumter area, and I'm going to switch back and forth between price per square foot and price. And you can see that using a tool like this, it becomes much easier to spot deals. We're going to take a look at the differences between the different regions of the Villages, but first let's start by taking a look at the Villages as a whole. The number of listings this week is 512. Last week it was 515. A year ago it was only 319. Currently, the lowest priced home in the Villages is 134.9, reduced from 142 on the market 81 days. And the most expensive home in the Villages currently just under 2.9 million, originally 2,950, 98 days on the market. Here's a graph that I think is going to be heading higher. This is the median time on the market for all listings. currently 60 days. Last week, only 57 days. And a year ago, it was only 39 days. I pointed this out last week, but it's worth noting that it does seem unusual for the time on the market for listings to be hovering around 60 days for so long. This is a data point a lot of people seem to focus on. We're looking at the median list price for all listings. Currently 258.65, up very slightly from 257.90 of last week, which is only 1 cent higher than the lowest level we saw. And last year, the median list price per square foot was almost $264 a foot. Now I'm going to show you how I've divided the villages up into four distinct geographic regions. I'm calling these the North, Middle South, and South. The first area is the North. This is the area that is south of 42, but also north of 466. This week, 225 active listings. Last week, 229. Second area, I'm calling the Middle North. This is everything south of 466 and north of 466A. Currently 146 active listings, last week 148. Keep in mind these maps are showing you the size of the home and its price per square foot. So the larger the circle, the larger the home, and the brighter the circle, the more expensive per square foot. The third area is the area I'm calling the Mid-South. This is everything south of 466A, but north of 44. This week, 68 listings, last week, 70. And finally, the area that I'm calling the South, everything south of Highway 44. This week, 66 active listings, and last week, 65. So let's take a look at the listings in some detail. Here we're looking at all listings once again. This week 512, and you're looking at the price per square foot here. So for the homes under 200,000, the least expensive on a per square foot basis is 104, and the most expensive 192. Whereas for the most expensive homes in the villages, the million plus homes, the least expensive on a per square foot basis is 273. The median price is 470 a foot, and the most expensive home at a million plus is $776 a foot. Now let's take a look at the different areas of the villages and see how this compares. So here we have the most active area in the villages, the north, 229 active listings in the $400,000 to $600,000 range. Prices per square foot range from 202 to 395, with the median 241, and there don't appear to be any homes over 800,000 this week for sale in the north. Here's the mid-north, the area between 466 and 466A. There are no homes under 200,000 in this area. In the $600,000 to $800,000 range, price per square foot ranges from 271 to 377, with the median 303. In the $200,000 to $400,000 range, price per square foot ranges from 218 to 313, with the median price per square foot of 258. This is the Mid-South, 70 active listings. Once again, we're looking at price per square foot. Nothing in the Mid-South under $200,000. In the $600,000 to $800,000 range, price per square foot ranges from $313 to $375 a foot. And the median price per square foot in the $600,000 to $800,000 price range is $352 a foot. And this is the South. No homes under 200,000 for sale here either. Price per square foot in the $600,000 to $800,000 range ranges from 306 to 410. Median price per square foot in that price range is 360. If you move down to the $200,000 to $400,000 range, price per square foot ranges from 223 to 322. Median of 261. So I wanted to give you some idea as to where these homes were located. So on these maps, we're going to be going through price buckets, and you'll see where these homes are. First, there are currently no homes for less than $100,000 for sale in the villages. Under 200,000, there are these 7 homes. They're all in the north. In the last 60 days, 3 went pending and 5 sold. These are the homes between $200,000 and $300,000. They're number 83. In the north, 57. In the mid-north, 16. In the mid-south, 3. And in the south, 7. As I said, 83 active listings. In the last 60 days, 37 went pending and 55 sold. These are the $300,000 to $400,000 homes. North 105, mid-north 38, mid-south 8, and south 20. 171 active listings, 55 went pending, and 88 sold over the last 60 days. These are the homes between 4 and 500,000, 36 in the north, 52 in the mid-north, 23 in the mid-south, and 18 in the south. 129 active listings, last 60 days, 36 went pending, and 40 sold. These are the homes between 5 and 600,000, 13 in the north, 20 in the mid-north, 17 in the mid-south, and 7 in the south. 57 current listings, 11 went pending, and 15 sold over the last 60 days. 600 to 700, these 22 homes, 7 in the north, 8 in the mid-north, 5 in the mid-south, and 2 in the south. 22 listings, 5 went pending, and 13 sold over the last 60 days. These are the 700 to 800,000 current listings, the number 15, 4 in the north, 2 in the mid-north, 3 in the mid-south, 6 in the south. 15 current listings, last 60 days, 6 sold, and 6 went pending. 800 to 900,000, these 7 listings, 5 in the mid-north, 1 in the mid-south, and 1 in the south. 6 went pending and 6 sold over the last 60 days. 900 to a million, these 7, 3 in the mid-north, 3 in the mid-south, and 1 in the south. No homes went pending over the last 60 days in this price range, but 3 did close. And finally, we come to the houses that are $1 million or more. The number 14, 4 in the mid-north, 7 in the mid-south, and 3 in the south. As I said, 14 active listings, 2 went pending over the last 60 days, and 5 closed. So let's look at what changed over the last week. We're looking at homes that entered the market as new listings and homes that left the market as homes going pending. Last week, 23 new listings and 29 pending sales. Previous week, 40 new listings and 34 homes went pending. Last year, same week, 25 new listings and 38 homes went pending. It certainly is nice seeing the new listings and pending home sales about equal. We need to see this continue for inventory pressures to abate. And this graph is really just a summary of the previous graph, showing us the difference between new homes and homes going pending. Last week, 6 more homes went pending than were listed. Previous week, 6 more homes were listed than went pending. And a year ago, there were 13 more homes going pending than being listed. So when we dive into the homes that went pending over the last 60 days, it does appear that there are signs of distress starting to appear. Median time on the market for the homes that went pending last week. And keep in mind, last week was an aberration, so it's very possible that this will not continue. But last week, the homes that closed were on the market a median 56 days, which was almost twice as long as the 30 days that they were on the market the previous week, and about the same as the 59 days on the market for homes that went pending a year ago. Okay, so now we're getting into real signs of distress. If you look at the homes that went pending last week, they went pending at a 236.91 number, which is almost the lowest number that we've seen. The previous week, 255.58 was the median price per foot, and a year ago it was 245.56 a foot. Another clear sign that sellers are starting to feel some pressure. Last week, the homes that went pending had a median price reduction of 6.64%. The previous week, it was only 3.7% reduction, and a year ago, it was under a 5.4% reduction. And here we get to the worst data point of the week. I'm really not sure how greatly last week's storm affected this, but last week we only saw 10 homes close. Previous week 37, and a year ago 25. I show that the lowest price home closing last week closed for 40,000. There was originally 90,000, discount of over 55%. The highest priced home, 1,075,000. That was originally 1,275,000. Only 5 days on the market. The buyer got a 15% discount there. And the highest discount for homes closing last week was a 17% discount. A home originally listed at 302,000 closed for 250 after being on the market 85 days. So now we're looking at a seasonal chart comparing year over year. The red line is 2024, the green line 2023, and the blue line 2022. And we're mapping sales per week through the year so we can see the effects of seasonality. Obviously, last week was an aberration, but seeing only 10 sales a week is going to cause sellers a lot of problems here. And the main effect of the low number of sales last week is weeks of inventory skyrocketing. As you can see in this graph, we've never seen levels even close to this. 51 weeks of inventory based on the current number of listings and the number of sales last week. So, as I said, last week represents almost 1 year of inventory. The previous week was 13.9 weeks, and a year ago it was under 13 weeks of inventory. I don't know to what extent the storm affected the number of sales. Subscribe, and you'll find out what the numbers are next Monday. I wanted to break up the incessant flow of numbers with one more map. And this map is showing you all active listings. Once again, the size of the circle represents the size of the property. Here we're looking at how long homes have been on the market. The lighter the circle, the longer it's been on the market, and the darker the circle, the more recently it's been listed. So we're looking at all listings once again, and here we're looking at what percent have reduced their asking price from the original list price. This week, 52.15% have. Last week, 52.62% had. A year ago, under 49% had. We'll have to see if last week's low sales activity was foreshadowing or if it was just a normal seasonal weather event. One more graph showing little concern from the side of sellers. Currently, the median decrease for all listings on the MLS is a 3.8% reduction. Last week it was 4%. A year ago it was 4.06%. If you're looking to find a good deal in the villages, please consider consulting with me, DavidisinFlorida at gmail.com or DavidisinFlorida.com. I'll be happy to research properties for you. I'll be happy to advise you on areas in the villages, values, and answer any questions about life in the villages itself. I hope to hear from you. Take care.